All right, what's up, everybody? My name is Joe Reitz. This is another episode of Marketo-Fu. And what I want to cover off today on, so actually at the most recent Chicago user group, we did an advanced reporting workshop. And in conversation with a few folks there, there was a little confusion. One very small point was like how to use a Marketo form to capture any kind of UTM parameter. So the use case being like you have a landing page, an asset of some kind, so a form you want filled out, but you want to know where people are coming from. So like, did they come from paid search, social media, your website? What was the source? So any kind of information like that you want to capture, anything you might put in a URL parameter, like a UTM parameter, is you're able to capture it via Marketo form, and very quickly and easily, I'm going to show you how. So I'm going to kick this over to my screen. I love that. All right. So back in Marketo, the first thing you'll need to do is, if you don't have the fields created already, you'll need to go to admin and then go down to field management. And you'll need to create a couple fields for, like, so new custom field, and you're going to select string field. And you're going to need to do, like, you know, whatever your UTM parameters are. So if it was like, you know, campaign source or something like that, or medium, you can name the field however you want, but however you want it to appear in your instance of Marketo, you can sync that up to Salesforce or whatever CRM you're using. But you would create the field here first. I've already done that, so I'm not going to do it now, but that's the first step. And then once you've done that, I've got a form that I've also created over in the Design Studio, cleverly named Hidden UTM Param Test. So when we look at this form, there's nothing really cool about it, right? Just by default, it has the ability to load. There we go. So just by default, it has the email address field, and then a couple different hidden fields. And you can see I've already got these set up, but I'm going to show you how it got here. So let's delete out medium, for example, and we'll rebuild it complete. So if I go to this little plus sign to add a field, and I find my new string field for medium, campaign medium, and then you'll see a field pops up like normal. And by default, over here, you're going to see it says text. No, we don't want that. So hit that drop down, come down to hidden, then you'll see it's just going to populate with a null value. So we also don't want that. So what we have to do is come back over here and see this autofill little edit button. Click that guy. And then you'll see this little dialog pop up. And it says it's going to say it's going to get the default value from default value, or get the value from default value. And you could, if you knew exactly how this form was being built, you could type something static here, and it's always going to populate with lickajul something. I don't know, hook it on Pahonix. So if you wanted to use a couple different things, you can do by cookie value, refer parameter. What we're going to talk about is the URL parameter, and that's anything that appears in the URL, like you know, when you see like the question mark and then UTM underscore medium or whatever. So what this is going to do is it's going to look for, let me delete this default value out. It's going to look for, anytime it sees whatever parameter name, it's going to look for what value it's pointing to and then populate that into this hidden field. So if I did, this has to be exact now. So you'd have to do UTM underscore medium, assuming that this is the UTM parameter that you're trying to capture here, and that's it. You just write it like that, select OK. Now, when you finish and approve your form, anytime someone fills it out, it's going to look to see if the link contains a UTM parameter. And for UTM medium, UTM source, UTM campaign for this example, and it's going to populate those here. And that very simply gets you to the point of being able to see where a lead came from, or like whatever UTM parameter, URL parameter you're concerned about, you can quickly map that to a field in Marketo. Now, this field is going to get overwritten if they come back and fill out another form or do something else. So you can set up, like we've done in other videos, you can do like a daisy chain kind of situation of like, we can concatenate those fields and we can see kind of like where all they came from, and then run a report or smart list based on like, you know, each individual tactic. So like, you know, if you want to just get a sense of how many people ever came through anything through paid or like, you know, AdWords or like a retargeting campaign, or social or your website or whatever else that I'm not thinking of at the moment. So it's just a very easy way to it. Like you saw, it takes about 2 seconds to set up. Gives you a lot more insight into how people are interacting with your instance, where they're coming from, and like, you know, when you have a lot of conversions on a form, where, you know, it's important to know what the path is. So, and if it's not what you want it to be, you have some work to do to try to make it that. So it could be increasing your bids, changing your strategy for paid, or it could be making the form a little easier to see and find on your website if it's something like that. So great way just to dig into more data. It's going to inform a lot of your ability to report on different things. And that's about it. So this has been another episode of Marketo-Fu. My name is Joe Reitz, and we will reconvene very soon.